Ladies and gentlemen, becoming the top 1% in any industry is no easy task. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that will allow you to get ahead of 99% of traders. And these tips that I'm sharing, you can use pretty much whether you are a trader or you are someone seeking mastery or looking to get ahead of the masses in your industry. Let's waste no time. Let's jump right into it. The very first tip to becoming part of the 1% of traders is to have a vision of the goal that you're trying to achieve. Ladies and gentlemen, when I first came into the trading game, I was just getting out of college and I was living in a $500 apartment. I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know how to trade. I didn't know anything about the market, really. But what I knew when I discovered trading at an early age was that, hey, this was something that could allow me to move out of my $500 apartment, to live somewhere that is much nicer, to have more freedom because I was working a job that I didn't particularly like at the time, and allow me to become someone that I could respect. So I saw trading as a way for me to attain a vision of my life that I would enjoy and I would love. And that's the biggest thing. I didn't know how I would get there. I didn't know how I could earn X amount of dollars, going from making $30,000 a year to making $30,000 a month when I quit my job and became a full-time trader. These visions were visions that I had in the very beginning. I didn't necessarily know how I was going to achieve them, but what I did is I created a vision. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the exact same thing that you have to do if you're going to become part of the 1% of traders in the trading game or in any industry that you're working to. It's becoming something. In the Bible, it says, without vision, the people shall perish. And I am a firm believer in this because I believe too, whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. And I find that this is a common mistake that a lot of people make. Man, I want to be a successful trader. I'm seeing these guys making money. I want to become profitable. I want to own a business. But how am I going to do it? I am here to tell you today that how doesn't matter. Start by creating a vision. Start by asking yourself, what do I want? What kind of a lifestyle do I want for myself? Where do I want to travel to? Where do I want to live? Do I want time freedom? Do I want location freedom? Start with a vision, and these visions will fuel you and will keep you going when you go down difficult path. And the path to mastery, ladies and gentlemen, is no easy path. It is a lot of work and it is very difficult and it is filled with a lot of failure. But your vision is the fuel that will keep you going when you have nothing left. The next rule to become part of the few traders who make it in this game is the 10,000 hour rule. This rule came from the 10,000 Hours by Malcolm Gladwell, which is a book that states or explains the important fact that you need to put in at least 10,000 hours into your craft in order to become good. And he gave a list of examples of people who have done it, high-level people in the world that we recognize today who have put in 10,000 hours into their craft before they became great at it. The reason why this is important is because we live in a world that is filled with instant gratification. We have social media, right? You post a picture, you get likes pretty much instantly. You get comments instantly. You order something on Amazon on the other side of the world and it's at your door the very next day. So all of these things are literally programming us to want things right away. And unfortunately, when you want to now become the trader that you wish to be so you can change your life and start doing the things that you want to do, it's going to take time. It's going to take mastery. It's not going to be instant. The progress doesn't happen instantaneously. And this is a common mistake that a lot of traders make because they see a lot of people making it on social media, posting their profits, posting their trades, and you think it happened overnight. I've been trading for the last 8 years, going to 9 years in my trading journey. I had many years of just literally garbage trading. I wasn't making money. I wasn't trading how I wanted to. And I was putting in hours and hours and hours into the craft so I can perfect it. I had my back testing system and I would spend a lot of time back testing. And I even developed a saying that if you are spending more time trading, you are not actually learning. You have to spend more time practicing because that is where the victory is born, during practice. Thomas Edison, who is perhaps one of the greatest inventor of all time, says genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, which simply means hard work. Without hard work, there is nothing to it. One of my favorite books is also by Robert Greene, Mastery. And I read this book during my trading journey because I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to see other people who were doing it, right? Who were achieving it. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I say they were working hard. They were working harder than I was. And they had a certain level of obsession than I did at the time. So I vowed that if I am going to make it in this game, I have to put the work in. There is no way around that. And I did. And before I knew it, I got better. I got better. I got better. Not perfect, but I kept improving day in and day out. And before I knew it, here I am giving you a video talking, managing capital, trading, making thousands of dollars from trading, because that is the work that I invested in and I put in because I wanted to get to this level. Ladies and gentlemen, trading is extremely psychological. So the next tip is do not ignore the mental blind spot. A lot of traders who come into the game, let's say you're a new trader coming in, you spend the first 6 months learning the technical aspects of trading, maybe 6 months to a year, maybe maximum 2 years. 2 years, you have invested a lot of time, a lot of hours into learning strategies, learning the techniques, learning patterns, candlestick, everything that goes into the craft of trading. And I believe that within 2 years, you can actually learn that. Now, what starts to happen after you have the technical aspect of trading down is you start to notice the psychological barriers that are in your way. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I say this is where a lot of traders die and get buried, because the psychological aspect of trading is no joke. And sometimes, fortunately, a lot of traders just don't know how to get around it. They face over trading, over leveraging, the desire to make money, the lack of your ability to control or regulate your emotions, just make decisions in the heat of the moment, or even just being able to make sure that your amygdala doesn't get hijacked when you are in the heat of the moment. A lot of traders don't know how to do these things. So one of the things I observed even in my trading is when I noticed that, okay, I was having psychological problems, what I did was I'm gonna even spend more time, more hours on the chart. But what did that do? That just essentially was putting a band-aid in my injury, right? It wasn't exactly healing it. One of the things that took me to the next level is I started to really focus on the psychological aspect of trading. That's it. You know, I hired 2 trader psychologists. Yes, it was very costly, but at the same time, even before I did that, I was reading books on behavioral psychology to understand why I was acting a certain way. And there are a lot of information online that can help you. So do not ignore the psychological blind spot, because in trading, that is perhaps one of the biggest things that can hold you back. And in this channel, you know, we talk a lot about the importance of psychology. Our slogan is where the mind meets the market. And if you ever need psychology tips to help you get to the next level in trading, we have a psychology playlist on the channel. Make sure you check it out. The next important tip is to develop a high performance daily routine. A high performance daily routine is a routine that is conducive to the goal that you are seeking to achieve. If you want to become a successful trader and you say, hey, I'm going to be trading the New York session, for example, well, we know that you can't be waking up at 8:30 in the morning. You got to wake up a little bit earlier. You got to have a morning routine that allows you to prepare your mind and come into your trading day relaxed. So one of the things that I did when I said, hey, I'm going to start trading the New York session is I'll wake up at 5:30, and I still do that. So waking up at 5:30, I shower, get ready, I'm out, you know, in my living room. By 6, I'm meditating, you know, doing a half-hour meditation or 15 minutes of meditation to calm and relax my mind. The next thing I do is I read, because you got to invest in your mind as well. So I'm reading and I'm journaling, just making sure that I'm calm, I am relaxed, there's nothing going on, and I'm not on social media. But what I am focused on doing is just preparing my mind for the day. And when I do that, between, 6 to 7, I prepare my mind, and then by 7:30, I'm essentially on my computer after, spending maybe 15 or 20 minutes having my breakfast. And some days I don't even have breakfast until my trading day is done, depending on how I'm feeling. But what this allows me to do is allows me to come into my trading day prepared, because preparation is key. So one of the things I always recommend is creating a high performance daily routine for yourself that will allow you to stay in the flow state, that will allow you to perform at peak, because how you feel is how you act. You will never make decisions that are greater than how you feel unless you're extremely disciplined. But it's harder to make this good decisions when you don't feel the greatest. So it's important that you feel good and you do things that will allow you to stay in peak performance. So tip number 5 that will allow you to get ahead of the masses is to get a mentor. That's simply how you do it. When you are looking to achieve a goal, it is always better to find someone who has already achieved that goal. Whatever you are looking to do, whatever industry that you're currently in, if you are in the trading game, there are many people who have achieved the goal that you are seeking. Find these people and work with them. This is the same thing I did in my trading journey. I spent over $30,000 in education, and that's probably a whole video on its own because that's a lot of money. I was spending money on courses, on just, mentorships and all those things because I wanted to succeed. I wanted to be part of the few that would make it, because I understood that in life, proximity is important. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And I believe that that is true with your friends and in business. If you can spend time with people who are succeeding, there is something called mind and mental expansion. Every time I spent time with a successful trader, when I was working towards becoming a full-time trader, my mind the very next day was expanded and it never shrunk. Even till this day, anything I'm looking to achieve, right, whether it's starting a new business or car, whatever that I'm interested in, if I spend time with someone who has that car, there's just that desire to acquire it will just increase. In trading, it's the exact same thing. The more successful traders I spend time with, the more I realized, okay, you know what? I can do this, because these people, they're humans, right? They have similar problems. They're not smarter than I am. They just went through the process and now they're showing me the ropes. So I strongly believe that you get around mentors and you get around people who are doing what you are seeking to do, but just on a higher level. Mentorship is obviously very expensive. So one of the things that I also did too is I read a lot of books. When I couldn't work with someone in particular, I always just would buy books and read and learn from people who have come before me. In the trading game, there are a lot of trading books that you can read, from Market Wizards that will give you perspective. I guess Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. So there are a lot of traders that you can still learn from, but it's really important to have access to a mentor because he can answer your questions in the moment. Going over to a last tip, if you have stuck around, I'll give you a bonus tip here, and that is to compete with yourself, not with others. I know the video says, get ahead of 99% of traders. Yes, I am quite aware of that, but it's really important to emphasize this. If you compete with others, you will get better. If you compete with yourself, you will get better. I always made sure that I never watched, what the next man was doing. I always focused on where I'm going, making sure that I am improving and maintaining a level of gratitude for the progress that I was making. Because when you are on your journey, it is difficult, ladies and gentlemen. It is not easy. So you need to make sure that you're giving yourself positive reinforcement, right? You're not telling yourself you suck. You're not watching someone else and feeling like, oh my God, they're living the life and I'm not there yet. What is wrong with me? Don't do that. If you believe in yourself long enough, eventually you will start to make the right decisions and start to move in the direction of your goal. All it takes is believing in yourself. But when you start to compare, yourself, your progress, your journey, your trading results with other traders, it is perhaps the fastest way to lose any hope, because wherever you are, there's always someone who is doing it better than you. And that's just simply it. Regardless of how rich you are, there's someone richer. Regardless of how good looking you are, there's someone better looking. That's just life. That's just how it goes. Focus on myself, focus on my journey. And my biggest saying to myself was, hey, Emmanuel, don't worry. Your time will come. And that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you for watching. Hope you found this video insightful. And once again, I'm cheering for you. Thank you for watching and hope you're out there living free. Cheers.